That song still gets me. Come close by the pond, little ones. The willow leaves are turning their pale backs to the wind, which is how leaves say, something interesting is about to happen, and I refuse to be blamed. Today, I want to ask you something. Have you ever wanted to know every step before you took the first one? Have you ever made such a careful plan that you could not hear a quiet bit of help right beside you? God does not always hand us the whole map. Sometimes God gives a good next step and watches us while we take it. Listen close. The answer is in the story. It happened on a bright morning when the meadow grass was still wet at the roots, but the air above it was busy. Not stormy busy, not scary busy, just the kind of small, tickly wind that moves your hair, your plans, and one very important leaf if you happen to be a hummingbird with a clipboard. Zippy the hummingbird had found out from a squirrel who had found out from a blue jay who had found out by having a purple beak that the first blueberries were ripe beyond the bent birch.
Wait! I just had 7 ideas. Idea 1, map. Idea 2, improved map. Idea 3, spare backup map in case the improved map gets wobbly.
She had drawn the path on 3 oak leaves, 2 strips of bark, and the smooth side of a flat stone, because Zippy believed a plan became truer if it had enough copies. Bongo the bear cub came thumping over with a berry basket on his head, which was not where berry baskets usually go, but he seemed very pleased with the breezy space.
Friends, blueberries need carrying. I got this.
Shelley the tortoise looked at the basket. Then she looked at Bongo's ears sticking through the handle.
Bongo, the basket is a hat now.
And Fern the fawn, who had been watching the bent birch sway at the far edge of the meadow, took one small step closer. It was the sort of small help God can tuck into an ordinary morning.
I noticed something. The birch bends toward the berry hill every time the wind comes through.
Excellent! I will add wind-assisted birch vector notation to map copy 4. Please, nobody breathe near the important leaf. Okay. Path meeting. Everyone stand according to optimal berry retrieval geometry. Bongo gets basket support. Shelley gets patience department. Fern gets noticing committee.
I have never been basket support before. I accept this promotion.
Promotions usually come with less head wicker.
Step 1. Follow the big red maple leaf to the left. Step 2. Turn at the pebble shaped like a potato. Step 3. If the pebble is not a potato, kindly support the pebble and proceed.
The big red maple leaf lifted itself off the path, spun once in the wind, and settled on Bongo's nose.
I found step 1 with my face.
Revision! Step 1 now follows the leaf current event. Step 2 becomes step 1.5. Step 3 is still pebble-related, but much wobblier.
The birch is bending again.
Noted. Adding birch bend appendix. Appendix gets its own appendix if the wind has comments.
Behold, a quest with paperwork. At last, grandeur has filing rules.
That was Garingo the parrot, arriving with a fern frond like a banner and looking ready to declare war on not knowing gently.
I shall announce every turn, so the blueberries may prepare themselves.
Blueberries are not famous planners.
They set off. For a while the path was cheerful. The basket bumped. The leaf map flapped. Zippy flew from marker to marker, correcting the world with very tiny lines.
Correction. The world is currently 17 degrees off from my plan. But I am willing to ask it nicely.
Do we negotiate with the world by asking nicely or by bringing snacks?
Usually snacks help.
I think the creek sounds louder on the right. The berry hill is past the creek, isn't it?
Creek sound received. I will file that under helpful sound clue, waiting for leaf proof.
Then the wind arrived with opinions. It lifted map copy 1 into a blackberry bush, map copy 2 onto Shelley's shell, and map copy 3 straight into Gar-Ringo's banner, which made him look like a very official sandwich.
I accept this title, official sandwich of the trip.
Route review. We have Path A, Path B, Path B prime, Path B prime but with slightly less emotional birch, and Path C, which is mostly a feeling I had near a mushroom.
I vote for the mushroom feeling. It sounds friendly.
Feelings are poor trail markers.
I shall question the mushroom with dignity.
The mushroom is leaning away from us.
That could be data. Or a mushroom boundary. Respecting mushroom boundaries is important, probably.
So Zippy made a 4th copy of the 4th copy, using a grass stem for a ruler and Bongo's basket hat for a desk. The desk sneezed.
Sorry, my desk has pollen.
Your desk is your head.
The wind nudged the new copy, just enough to make Zippy draw a small arrow where no path had ever been, not even socially.
Aha! Fresh arrow! Everyone, please admire how quickly my map has adapted to reality by inventing a reality.
I don't think wind arrows count.
Now, there are 2 ways to be lost. One is to not know where you are. The other is to know exactly where your paper says you are, while your feet are somewhere else entirely.
Everyone pause. According to my map, the creek is on the left.
The creek is making creek noises on the right.
Then the creek has skipped the meeting.
Shall I issue the creek a certificate of absence?
The creek is present.
It is very loudly present.
Fine. New theory. The creek is on the right, the map is on the left, and I am between 2 difficult opinions.
She turned the leaf map upside down. For 1 shining second, it agreed with the creek. Then Bongo turned his head and the basket hat slid over Zippy's arrow.
The hat has redacted my evidence.
I don't know what redacted means, but my ears feel involved.
Your ears are material witnesses.
Maybe we could stop and listen for a minute.
We can listen while moving. I have invented moving listening. It is like listening, but with reduced delay and increased shrub contact.
Zippy zipped ahead to prove it. She went past the bent birch, past the soft creek sound, and into a little circle of young alders, where every trunk looked like every other trunk.
Minor update. I am not lost. I am, for a little while, surrounded by trees that look the same.
We can see you, Zippy.
Good. Excellent. Seeing me is useful. I will now prepare a report on how these similar trees feel.
Then Zippy stopped buzzing. Not all the way. A hummingbird is still a hummingbird, but her wings softened and the paper leaf in her little feet trembled.
I wanted the map to be right. I wanted to know before anyone had to wait for me. I heard Fern. I heard the creek. I just kept fixing the paper instead.
You were trying to help us.
I think I was trying to make sure I would never need help.
The little alders clicked their leaves together. The creek kept speaking from the right, and Fern lifted her head toward the bent birch.
Maybe God is not asking us to hold the whole map. Maybe the next step is to listen to the creek and walk toward the birch.
Zippy looked at the leaf map. Then she looked at Fern. Old Timber did not tell her what to do. He only asked one question from the shade of the willow. Which sound is still steady when the papers are not?
The creek, and Fern's voice, and maybe my own heart when I stop telling it to sprint.
Also, my basket hat is steady.
It has accepted its calling.
So they did not make a new grand map. They listened for the creek. They walked toward the bent birch. They took one step, and then the next one, and then the next.
Plan change. I will carry one tiny note. It says, "Listen first." It is the smallest map I have ever made, and I am suspicious of how useful it is.
I shall announce it with restraint. Ahem. Friends, observe in a modest fashion. One step.
That was medium modest.
I can do one step. I can do one step with snacks. I can do one step with snacks and a hat.
The creek is getting louder, and I smell blueberries.
And there, just beyond the bent birch, the berry hill opened bright and blue. Not because the map had finally behaved, but because the friends had finally listened to what was steady. Blueberries hung in little dusty clusters, blue as twilight and round as marbles. The bushes were low enough for a tortoise, high enough for a bear cub, and exactly confusing enough for a hummingbird who had just promised not to make a 12-page harvesting diagram.
I really want to sort bushes by berry count, stem tilt, snack chance, and sparkle.
What is the next good step?
Right, next good step. Pick one berry that is blue. Do not audit the hill. Do not form a committee with the hill. One berry.
I can be on the committee if the hill gets nervous.
The hill seems composed.
Zippy hovered beside the first bush. She did not ask the wind for a final memo. She did not consult the mushroom. She listened to Fern's small question, watched the berry in front of her, and picked it.
One berry completed.
A modest triumph. I am whispering a parade inside myself.
And because one step has a way of making room for the next, one berry became two, and two became a handful, and the handful became enough for everybody to taste the hill without anybody needing to boss it.
I would like the record to show that the blueberries are exactly where the creek and Fern said they were.
And where the bent birch kept pointing.
Yes, I am formally saying sorry to the birch.
I forgive the birch, too.
The birch is handling this well.
I too shall handle this well. I shall not shout at the berry hill. I shall merely present it with my indoor grandeur.
Indoor grandeur has a maximum volume, yes?
Naturally, a tasteful tremble of majesty.
Gar-Ringo's tasteful tremble startled one blueberry off its stem. It rolled down the hill, bounced once, and stopped beside Shelley.
The berry has accepted your announcement.
Should I put it in the basket or salute it first?
Basket first, salute after berry count. I am growing.
They ate blueberries until Bongo's basket hat became a basket again, which he took as a step down, but accepted with grace. Later, back by the pond, Zippy set one blueberry on top of her leaf map. It covered nearly the whole thing.
It turns out a map can be helpful and still not be in charge.
I thought helping meant carrying everything the right way, but today I mostly carried a basket the wrong way, and still got to help.
You carried it with commitment.
And I learned that quiet grandeur may be announced softly, if possible, before the berry rolls away.
And listening is not doing nothing. Sometimes it is how God helps you notice the next good step.
God was not asking me to be the boss of every turn. God could guide us while we walked.
That is the heart of it. There is a line in the Bible, in the book of Psalms, chapter 32, verse 8. It says, "I will instruct thee and teach thee in the way which thou shalt go. I will guide thee with mine eye." That old word instruct means teach the way. Guide with mine eye means watched over, not left alone. For a child, that can be as small as stopping before you rush, asking God for help, and taking the next honest step.
One step, then listen. I can do that. Probably. With a very small appendix.
The appendix is allowed to be quiet.
And now it is time for Professor Hoot's Totally True Facts, the part of the show where Professor Hoot tells us a thing that is, as far as anyone can tell, completely true.
Professor Hoot here, with a fact that is completely true. Hummingbirds can hover in one place and they can even fly backward for short moments. They do it by moving their wings in a tiny figure-8 shape, which means the wings push air on both halves of the beat. Wing science means how air moves around a flying thing. There. A large idea placed neatly on a small shelf.
Thank you, Professor. A hummingbird can hover, yes, though even a hovering hummingbird still has to choose where to go next. And now it's time for Mud Puppy Minutes, the part of the show where Splish, Splash and Splosh tell us a thing they have learned.
Maps are leaves that got ideas.
No, maps are puddles that dried flat.
Incorrect. A map is a snack with bossy lines.
I followed a snack once.
Did it lead anywhere?
Into my mouth.
Then the snack was accurate.
A map is a drawing that helps you know where things are and how to get there. Snacks may come along, but they are not in charge of geography. So if your plan moves today, little one, you can stop and listen. Ask God for the next good step. Then take that step with the courage you have. Until the next breeze brings us together, this is Old Timber at Shiloh Creek.
See you next time, somewhere in Shiloh Creek.
And if you see a basket wearing a bear, do wave kindly.